Hi, welcome to this course on Python, and in this video we shall be talking about the second data structure, which is going to be tuples. In the previous video we learned about the basic difference between lists and tuples, and we also talked about the different characteristics of lists and various methods inside list. In this video, I will just again briefly explain the basic difference between lists and tuples, and then we will quickly jump into the tuples practical implementations. So just a repetition, in case you have already gone through this, you can skip it to the practicals part directly. The first difference between lists and tuples is lists are always defined in square brackets and tuples are defined in round brackets. Okay, lists are mutable in nature. That means you can change the attributes. You can access the elements and change the elements. Whereas tuples are immutable in nature. You cannot change them. There are more than 40 plus available methods in lists, and in tuples there are around 30 to 35 methods. This is not a valid difference, but it's one of the differences. If the context is not fixed and it keeps on changing, it's always advisable to use lists. But if your context is fixed, then tuples are recommended. Lists cannot be used as keys for dictionaries because keys should be hashable and immutable. And tuple objects can be used as keys for dictionaries because they are immutable in nature. Okay, now we'll quickly jump into tuples practical applications, which will be very similar to the last class, the lists class. Let's get started. So here we have the tuples. Now tuples are ordered sequences of mixed data types, very similar to lists, and they are written in comma separated elements within parentheses. So let's start implementing a tuple. Okay, so simply let's say I define my tuple as t and I call 1 2 3 4. This becomes a tuple which has already been explained here. T equals to 1 2 3 4, and instead of square brackets, now this is present inside a round brackets, and if you run type, it shows that the type of t is tuple. If you do the same thing t1, if you do in a square brackets, done, and you do type of t1, that becomes a list. Apart from this, you can also define tuples without the brackets. Let's say I define t2 equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Now then if you run type of t2, you can see t2 is also a tuple. So even if you are not defining the square, the round braces, it is still identifying it as a tuple. Here we will define a tuple where we have three different types of data. First object is a string object, second one is an integer object, and third one is a float object. If I run this, this is how my tuple looks like. How to find the length of a tuple? Very similar to the way we find the length of a list and length of a string. The length of tuple here is 3 because there are 3 elements. A tuple can also have tuples inside it. That means it is called as a nested tuple. That means a tuple can have an element which is a tuple. A tuple can also have an element which is a list. Okay, let's say, let me just create it here. Let's say I will create a nested tuple equals to 1, 2, 3 and here 4, 5. What will be the length of this tuple? The length of this tuple will be 4 because there are 4 objects, 1, 2, 3, and this is the fourth object. Similarly, here we have defined a tuple which is t1. The first element is hello, the second element is 5, the third element is 5.5, and the fourth element is a list, and it is 2, 3, 4. Now if I run this, and if I am, okay, you can see here, this is t1. If you type in what is the length of t1, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, If we want to access this entire element, how can we do that? We can do that using T1 of 0, 1, 2, 3. If you do this, this becomes 2, 3, 4. What is T13? If you see the type of T13, it is a list. So a list is a part of a tuple. Okay, it is possible. Here I have created another variable which is nothing but T1 of 3. And what is it? This is a list. What is the second element? Okay, this is var. So var, what is var? Var is nothing but 2, 3, 4, right? What will be the second element, which is 0th in the first index? Var of 1 is nothing but 3. Now, similarly, from this tuple, if somebody asks you, can you access 3? If yes, how can we access it? Simply, what you can do here is, this is tuple 1, simple. What is 2, 3, 4? This is 3, simple. Just imagine 2, 3, 4 is a list and the list name is list 1. Okay, how to find 3? It will be list 1 of 1 and I will change the list 1 to T1 of 3. Now if I print this, I'm getting 3. Okay, this is how you can access different elements in tuples. Tuples can be defined in various ways. I have somehow given you a glimpse on how tuples can be created without round braces as well, right? This is the same thing which we are studying here. Let's say I have defined my variable as t1 equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5. If I print my t1, my t1 is a tuple. If I print the type of t1, it is a tuple. If I define t1 equals to something comma, that's it. After comma, there is nothing else. In this case, you can see t1 is a tuple. But if I copy paste this, I will not have the comma. That becomes a float. What will be the length of t1? Okay, now it is this one. So I'll just change it to this tuple and then length of t1 will be 1 because it has one element. Okay. Similarly, I can also define a tuple like this 2 comma nothing else and surrounded by round brace. That also becomes a, if I run this, I do type of t2, that becomes a tuple. t3 equals to 2 comma, what will it be? Sorry, I already have the code. Type of t3 is a tuple. Single value tuple, t2 equals to 1 comma, print t2, this is 1 comma. t3 equals to 1 comma, print t3, which is 1 comma. If I define like this, t5 equals to bracket 1, is this a tuple? No, because this is a single element. So by default, it is understandable as an integer. It is always treated as an integer. If I run this and then if I do type of t4, it's integer. What is type of t5? It's an integer as well. But if you do comma, the type becomes tuple. Okay, so I'll just change it to 1 and this becomes an integer. So this is all about the basics of tuple. I hope you are understanding it. Now we will move on to the next topic, which is going to be indexing in tuple. What is indexing in tuple? As I have already told you that if you have a detailed understanding on lists, you can easily grasp tuples. And so it's also easy to understand sets and dictionaries. So only understand one of the data types and implement the same logics in the other data structures, you will be able to understand it. Now, I have defined another tuple which is Mumbai 10 Python 100. So what will be the length of t, which is 4. Let's say you want these two entities. What are they? 0, 1, 2 colon and empty because I want it till the end one, Python and 100. Just imagine you have a tuple like this, Mumbai, Python, 100 and then Delhi, something like that. Now you want to only print Python and 100. How can we do that? 2 colon 5. Will this work? This is giving you 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you want only the third and the fourth attribute. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So give 2 colon 4. That will give you Python and 100. If you do 2 colon empty, that will print you Python 100 and Delhi. Right? So here the last index is not inclusive. That's it. Okay. Similarly, how do we do this in string? How can we access certain elements? Let's say I have hello world. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you want only world, how it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 colon empty. So 6 colon empty will give you from 6th index till the end index. Right? Gives the element at index location 0, that is the first element. If I do this, you can see the first element is Mumbai, the second element is 10. How to slice? I have already explained slicing. If you want to slice the first two elements, you can do 0 colon 2. If you want to slice the last two elements, you can do -2 colon empty. So let's say I run this and you want to slice the last two attributes. Okay, I'll just copy paste this. Slicing the last two elements. How can we do that? Simply I will do -2 colon empty. This is also possible, or else you can do 0, 1, 2, 2 colon empty. This will also do the same thing. Okay. Length of t is 4. Now, after this, our next topic will be concatenation operation. What is concatenation? Very similar to list. I hope you remember what we studied in list. List 1 equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. And list 2 equals to something, 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 something. And then if you concat, let's say list 3 equals to list 1 plus list 2, and then print list 3. That becomes a list of 8 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 11, 12, 13, 14. Right? Similarly, in tuples, let's say welcome to today's is one of the tuples. Another tuple is class on Python. And if I'm doing this tuple equals to tuple 1 plus tuple 2, print tuple 3, welcome to today's class on Python. There are certain arithmetic operations or mathematical operations as well, which is applicable in tuples. The same is applicable in lists as well. Let's say you want to create a list. L1 equals to 2, 4, 6, 8. And then you are doing sum of L1. This becomes 20. You want to print the max of L1. It becomes 8. You want to do min of L1. Becomes 2. Same things are also applicable for tuples. You define a tuple and you can see you are able to find the sum. But if your tuple attributes are not similar in nature, 3 of them are integers and the fourth one is hello, it's a string, so definitely your sum operation will not be possible, because unsupported operand types for plus operation, integer and string. So you are trying to access integer but you are getting a string attribute, so you are failing. Min, max, all these things are possible. So even if it is possible, if you have data types like float and integer together, but float with string or integer with string, you cannot do these operations, max, min and all these things. I have defined a tuple which is 1, 2, 3, 4, hello world 1, 2, 3. What will be the length? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The length of tuple 1 will be 7. In case you want to access this 2, what it will be? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can make it tuple 1 of 6 and then 2, 0, 1, 1. You do this, you will be able to access 2. Or else from the right side, the first attribute is -1, just change it to -1, 1, it works. Okay, similarly, -1 and from 1 to 3, -1, -2, that will also work. -1, -2, that will also work. And similarly, another technique will be 6 -2, that will also work. Okay, all these things are possible to extract any number. Tuple 2 of 1 is 2. These are some basic again. Now we will be discussing the immutability nature in tuples. Now just giving you an idea about the lists. So let's say I have defined a list 1 equals to, if I talk about the same example, biology, chemistry, physics and maths, and let's say the candidate wants to change the subject, so he wants to change biology to computer science. Done. And then if you print your list, the value has been changed. Will this work in list or will this work in tuples? I will recreate the same thing. Instead of list, I will mark it as tuple 1. Instead of this, I will mark it as this, and this is this. I will copy paste this code. After this, I will write it like this: tuple 1 of 0 equals to computer science tuple 1. I'm not printing it. Let me just assign it. You can see while assigning, it is throwing an error that tuple object does not support item assignment. So this thing is not possible in tuples. So now at least you will have some answers that whenever you are storing some information which are not possible to change very frequently, in that case you can use tuples. And when you are using some data types where you know that the number of columns are going to increase, the data is going to be updated, in that case lists can be used. So this is the same example. I have hello, welcome, something, something, world of analytics. T of 3 is 10, 0, 1, 2, 3, and I am changing it to 2. It's not possible, right? Now, how can we change it? Let's say from this tuple, I just want to delete 5 and 10. Hello, welcome to the, I want to change it to 2 and this to the. How is it possible? You can see I have hello, welcome from this tuple. Just imagine this way. This is my tuple. Simple. 0 and first is hello, welcome. And this to this is world of analytics. For this one, I will create another tuple. Let's say I will create another tuple. Let's say I will create a tuple which is to the, okay, like this. And then I will do this plus this plus this. If I print this, you can see this is hello, welcome to the world of analytics. Now I assign them new tuple and that becomes my new tuple. Hello, welcome to the world of analytics. If I do a length of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 elements, right? Question: how can we, the answer is already mentioned here, but let's say this is my tuple disco 12 4.5. I want to print s. How is it possible? Disco is the first element, so from the first element, which is 0th index, dis 0 1 2, so t of 0 of 2 will give you s. Simple. Any other way? Yes, many ways. 4 ways are possible. Another way is 0 -1 -2 -3, 0 -3, possible. Another way, -1 -2 -3, -3 -3, yes. Another way, -3 and -1 -2 -3, 0 1 2, -3 2. So all of them are returning me s, right? how to sort a tuple is our next topic. We have already learned about sort operation and sorted operation. So here we will be using sorted. Let's say I've defined my tuple which is 238541 and I want to sort it. So here I'm defining a new variable equals to sorted of t, and then I'm printing it, and it says the type of new variable is this y. Just focus on the 94th line. I have defined a tuple, right? And I am changing, that means I am sorting the values. And we know that tuples are immutable in nature. That means you cannot access the elements and change the attributes. So in short, you cannot sort a tuple. But in worst case, if you want to convert or you want to sort a tuple, what you can do is you have tuple 1, you convert that into list, sort it, and then convert back it into tuples. That is possible. So here what I'm doing is my sorted output is a list. Now my new list is this 1 2 3 4 5 8. What I'm doing is I'm converting the new list to a tuple by doing typecasting, and then my T2 becomes 1 2 3 4 5 8. So here we are creating two objects, T and T2, two objects in memory. So it's not just one object. So two objects are created. So if somebody asks you if tuple can be sorted or not, you can say that if I am not allowed to create an object or create another instance in the memory, then it is not possible. If you allow me to create duplicate objects, then I can convert a tuple to a list and then sort it down and then convert that back to a tuple. Okay. X equals to sorted of t, tuple of x. This becomes 1 2 3 4 5 8. What are nested tuples? Tuples within a tuple. 1 5 hello world Java Python. To access Java, it's 0 1 2 3 4, 4 of 0. Okay. Again, 4 of 0 is just one of them. You can also do 4 of -2 Java. Similarly, you can also do two more ways, right? -1 of 0, -1 of 2 will also give you Java, and -1 of 0 will also give you Java, right? So this is one of the questions, a fun question to answer. The question is, I have a tuple 1 2 3 4 5, sorry 1 2 4 3. What will be the output of t of 4? Well, of course it will fail, right? If I do this and then do t of 4, index out of bound exception, right? Because this index does not exist. Question 2, which of the following declarations can be used to create a Python tuple? So these are the four different options. How many of them will be considered as tuples? Can you just pause this video and then try to answer this, because it's just self practice. The answer to this is, we'll try to solve it out. Okay, let's just do it here itself. And I will do type of x. It's a string because it's one object. If you have comma here, that becomes a tuple. If you don't have comma, then it is treated as a string. If you don't have the quotes, it will be treated as an integer. If you have like this, it will be treated as a float. Okay, so this is treated as a string. What about this? This will be a tuple. This will also be a tuple. What about this? Somehow many people might think that this is a tuple, but if you look at it closely, hello does not have the quotes, so it will throw you an error. So this is not a tuple. Okay, hello is not defined. So these things are solved here. So this is a small meme. Don't try to change me, dude. Tuples is saying I am what I am. Well, that's all about tuples. In the next video, we shall be learning about sets, dictionaries, and many more topics to go ahead. That's it. Thank you.